Take a look at yourself in the mirror. You see a modern human, a product of the 21st century. But beneath your skin, you are carrying a hidden museum of ancient history. Your body is filled with biological leftovers, remnants of a time when your ancestors swam in the oceans, climbed through the canopy of ancient forests, and fought for survival in a wilder world. Today, these parts are useless, silent, and often forgotten. But they are the blueprints of our evolution. Today, on Behind the Norm, we are exploring the living fossils inside of you. From the tail you lost millions of years ago to the muscles you no longer use, this is the story of the ancient echoes still breathing within your own body. Have you ever wondered why you have a small, hard bone at the very base of your spine? It is known as the coccyx, or more commonly, the tailbone. To us, it seems like a useless remnant that only causes pain when we fall, but millions of years ago, it was the foundation of something vital. Our ancestors were primates who lived in the trees, and for them, a tail was not just an ornament. It was a fifth limb used for balance, communication, and navigation through the canopy. Around 25 million years ago, as our ancestors began to spend more time on the ground and eventually walked upright, the tail became a burden rather than a tool. Evolution began to shrink this appendage, but it didn't disappear entirely. Today, every human embryo actually develops a small tail during the first 4 weeks of gestation. While most of it is reabsorbed by the body before birth, the 4 to 5 fused vertebrae of the coccyx remain. Although it no longer helps us swing through trees, it is not completely purposeless. It serves as an anchor for several muscles and ligaments in our pelvic region. However, it stands as a silent, bony witness to a time when our ancestors looked very different, reminding us that we are still carrying the blueprints of the forest within our modern bodies. If you look closely in the mirror at the inner corner of your eye, you will see a small, pink fold of tissue. This is called the plica semilunaris. While it might look like a simple part of your eye's anatomy, it is actually a vestigial remnant of a third eyelid. In many animals, such as birds, reptiles, and sharks, this is known as a nictitating membrane. It is a translucent lid that sweeps across the eye horizontally to provide protection and moisture while maintaining visibility. For a hawk diving at high speeds or a shark hunting in the ocean, this transparent shield is the difference between success and injury. As mammals evolved, most of us lost the need for this horizontal shutter. Primates developed better ways to keep their eyes clean and moist, such as the vertical eyelids we use to blink today. Over millions of years, the once functional third eyelid shrank until it became the tiny pink crescent you see today. It no longer slides across your eye to protect you from dust or water, but it still helps with tear drainage and debris collection. It is a fascinating biological fossil, sitting right in the corner of your eye, proving that humans share a deep ancestral connection with the creatures of the air and the sea. For many of us, the arrival of our late teens or early 20s comes with a painful rite of passage, the emergence of wisdom teeth. Technically known as third molars, these teeth are perhaps the most troublesome remnants of our ancestral past. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors had a much tougher diet, consisting of raw meat, fibrous plants, and hard roots. To process this food, they needed large, powerful jaws and an extra set of molars to grind everything down. In those days, a third set of molars was not a burden, it was a survival necessity. However, as humans discovered fire and began cooking their food, our diet became significantly softer. Over time, our brains grew larger and our jaws began to shrink to accommodate our changing skulls. Today, the modern human jaw is often too small to hold these extra teeth. This is why they often become impacted or grow in at strange angles, leading to the common need for surgical removal. Interestingly, evolution is still at work. It is estimated that about 35% of the population is now born without wisdom teeth at all. We are witnessing the slow disappearance of a tool that we simply no longer have the space to carry. Place your hand on a flat surface and touch your pinky finger to your thumb while slightly tilting your wrist upward. Do you see a thin tendon popping up in the middle of your wrist? If you do, you possess the palmaris longus muscle. But if you don't see anything, do not worry, about 15% of the global population is now born without it. This muscle is one of the most famous examples of a body part that has outlived its purpose. In our distant past, when our ancestors spent their lives climbing trees and swinging from branches, this muscle provided the necessary grip strength and forearm tension to ensure they didn't fall. As humans transitioned from the forest canopy to the open plains and began using their hands for fine motor skills like toolmaking rather than powerful gripping, the palmaris longus became redundant. It does not provide any significant strength to the modern human hand. In fact, it is so unnecessary that surgeons often remove this tendon to use it as a graft for repairing other damaged muscles in the body. The fact that some people are born with it and others are not shows us evolution in real time. We are literally watching a muscle disappear from the human blueprint, one generation at a time, as we move further away from our tree climbing origins. No way! We have all experienced that strange sensation when we are cold or frightened, the tiny bumps that appear on our skin, making our hair stand on end. We call them goosebumps. In the modern world, they are useless, they don't keep us warm, and they don't make us look scarier. But for our incredibly hairy ancestors, this was a powerful survival mechanism. By standing their hair upright, they could trap a layer of air near the skin for insulation against the cold. Similarly, when facing a predator, puffing up their fur made them look much larger and more intimidating, a tactic still used by cats and owls today. A similar relic can be found in the muscles around our ears, known as the auricular muscles. Have you ever met someone who can wiggle their ears? While it is a fun party trick today, it is actually a shadow of a skill that once saved lives. Most mammals can rotate their ears independently to pinpoint the exact location of a sound, allowing them to detect a predator approaching from behind without moving their heads. Since humans developed a highly flexible neck and began living in social groups where we relied on each other for protection, the need to move our ears vanished. These muscles remained, but for the vast majority of us, the connection between our brain and these tiny engines has been severed, leaving them as silent echoes of our wilder past. We often think of evolution as something that happened in the distant past, but as we have seen today, it is a process that is still written in our very DNA. These vestigial organs and muscles are not just biological mistakes, they are the threads that connect us to every living thing that came before us. They remind us that we are not separate from nature, but a part of its grand, ongoing design. If you discovered something new about your own body today, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us as we continue to uncover the hidden truths of our world. Thank you for watching Behind the Norm. The past is never truly gone, it is living right inside of you. We will see you in the next chapter.